All won the MAAC regular season crown. Iona at 17-11. They're the number 4 seed. Today's coaching matchup brought to you by Anaconda Sports and The Rock. Off to the left, it's Anthony Pozzella, and he has resurrected the program now in year number 4. 17 wins in total, and Brian George is off to the right, just named the co-coach of the year along with Pozzella. The Rock, the official basketball of the MAAC. Let's take a look now at our starting lineups. They are brought to you by I Love New York. What a great vacation. ILoveNY.com. As you see there for the Gales, Martina Weber. She'll be an integral part today there for the Gales. And, of course, Fifi Kamara for the Red Foxes of Marist. Let's take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Verizon Wireless.
Well, you know, lots of things have to happen today, but one of the things that Iona needs to do, it has to keep its players on the floor, no fouls. They have to handle perimeter pressure. Marist has to defend the big people in the post, and they want to disrupt this Iona backcourt.
And we are underway in our first semifinal of the day. That is Tony Horvath currently with the basketball for the Gales. Dahlman competes there with Weber, and the Foxes come away on the miscue by the Gales. Dahlman, a first-team all-conference performer along with Kamara. What a tandem inside. And Kamara tried to draw the foul, but the officials weren't fooled.
Well, Kamara is going to take it to whomever defends her in the paint. If she's played high, it'll be played by Anger. If she goes low, she's going to be played by Weber. So you're going to see a couple of different people on Fifi trying to slow her down. Weber wanted to play Fifi one-on-one. Coach Pozzella said that in an early interview, that Weber wants the challenge.
Looks like Weber should belong to the MASH unit. Got a damaged shoulder, also having a problem this year with her Achilles tendon. There's some tendonitis. Vianney on a long-range shot. Good seal on the glass there by Anger. A transfer in from Winthrop. Iona has turned it over the first 2 times down the court, looking to get a good offensive set this time. Yeagley, who can knock it down from the inside, and now they're 3 for 3 in miscues. And
all 3 passes are trying to get into Martina in the low block.
Fifi Kamara got inside. Boy, she's been on a tear of late. Last 6 games, averaging 19.5. Foxes with the 21 wins this year, a school record 16-2 in MAAC play at the number 1 seed. And Weber with the answer to Kamara, and we're tied at 2.
And they're going to the well early and often. They want the ball in Weber's hands. They want the ball in Kamara's hands.
Dahlman against the soft pressure of Iona. Velarde playing in her 115th career game today. She has been around forever at Marist. Velarde open for the 3 ball. And the Foxes grab a 5-2 lead.
Iona not wanting to run the ball, really taking their time up, using the clock to their advantage.
Velarde shooting 36% on threes this year. Crossover by Horvath. Tony Pozzella feels that she will be a big game player today. Weber inside and 1 as Dahlman took a swat at her.
And Weber is trying to make a statement. She's taking the ball right at Dahlman, right at Kamara, saying, you know what? See if you can stop me. So far, she's come up big. We take a look. We'll take a look a little bit later on that, but I'll tell you what, this girl is strong. She goes to the hoop.
Weber, perfect 2 for 2 early in this one. The conventional 3-pointer by making the free throw, and we're tied at 5.
She does look like a warrior, all taped up there, Dean.
She does. She's just a junior, back for another year. Kamara is a senior. She's had a 2-year career at Marist. Again, named the MAAC Player of the Year. Dahlman, a transfer in from Holy Cross, looks to get tough inside. And it'll be the Gale basketball.
Early on, the officials are letting these kids play. That's a plus for Iona because of the history of fouls.
Our Pontiac Series history, as Marist leads the overall series 13-9. They swept the season series earlier this year, winning the last meeting in New Rochelle by 18. And a steal there by Velarde. Fox is a very good defensive team, giving up less than 54 points a game. Dahlman on a 3 ball. Dahlman didn't get to play in the first meeting. She was out with a concussion. Sarah Smerdell came off the bench and played well for her, but they love having her in the lineup.
Well, Dahlman at 6'1" or 2 is just a force to be reckoned with. And she and Fifi together in the game make it awfully hard to defend Marist.
Down in the box again to Weber. Nice post-to-post pass that time from Anchor, fouling, getting down to Weber. And it's 8-7.
And Weber has scored all the points for Iona.
Step through there by Kresge. Dahlman with the save and draws the foul.
That's Heaton's first. Dahlman, good foul shooter. She'll go to the line for 2. You know, we said early, Dean, that the post positions were going to have to be big and strong. And we see in the last couple of possessions, the posts are really trying to make a statement early. Everybody wants the ball inside on both teams.
How about the length of this Iona team? 6 players over 6 feet tall.
And they can run. Pettijohn comes in, and when Pettijohn comes in, Iona's history has been that they like to use her in the 1-3-1 because she can play the middle. So don't be surprised if we see a 1-3-1 here as they go back.
So Dahlman with the good start. Stepped outside earlier, knocked down a 3, makes that second free throw attempt. 9-7 Foxes. Foxes won the first battle at the McCann Center at Marist College of Poughkeepsie in early December in overtime. Yeagley from long range, that's her 130th career made.
And she can shoot the 3. She's one of the best three-point shooters on the team, and she's not afraid to put it up.
She's the only senior this year for Iona. She had a wonderful game in her regular season finale against Manhattan. She knocked down 4 3-balls. And Kamara put it on the floor and drew the foul. 15:58 left here in half one. Iona has taken a 1-point lead in our first semifinal of the day. Early going here of our first semifinal today, featuring Iona and Marist. Iona shooting lights out. See, at the start of this ball game, they haven't missed. 4 for 4, led by Martina Weber. She's made all 3 of her shots.
Another statistic that jumps out at you is that they're rebounding very well. They may be turning the ball over. They have 4 turnovers, but they've also all the rebounds.
Sneaking inside there is Meg Dahlman. What a quick start here for Dahlman. She has scored 6 of their first 11. Yeagley spotting Weber, and you can tell the game plan. Inside, outside ball game. But they want to finish with the ball in the paint. 59% of their points this year have been scored inside. Pettijohn not expecting that pass.
And that's the 5th turnover early on. You can see that that's where Iona is tight. They've rebounded well so far in the game, and they've shot lights out. So the turnovers haven't hurt them yet, but it will bite them if they begin to falter shooting or if they stop rebounding.
And so far, Seal, it's been a good inside-outside attack for Marist. Kresge, as Coach Bozzella told us before the game, he doesn't mind that she shoots from the outside because she only shoots 24% overall.
He wants her taking 10 shots today because he knows that that's not Marist's game plan or their strength.
Yeagley almost set up on that one. Gales were a good team on the road this year, 8-6. Horvath looking for Hedden down to Pettijohn. Good look inside that time by Hedden.
And Hedden yesterday was lights out, the best player on the court. She's come on so strong the second half of her sophomore season. What a get.
That one off the mark. Hedden to lead them out. Kresge back defensively. The MAAC Defensive Player of the Year. And an over the back called against Weber. Good position that time by Dahlman on the glass. What a find she's been. She's the transfer in from Holy Cross. They lost Kristen Keller to graduation, and stepping right in has been Meg Dahlman.
Horvath looking, Hedden making a nice pass inside. Pettijohn finishing off. Story right now is Weber having gone to the bench with her second foul. McLean coming in will play Kamara. Kamara hasn't been effective on offense, and McLean is a big girl.
Kresge averaging over 5 assists a game. Kamara had it blocked. Hedden, a sophomore out of Charlotte, North Carolina area. Horvath stepping up, 17-footer. Cody Horvath, a junior out of Holbrook, New York. And her team leads 14-11.
Iona doing everything right on the offensive end.
And so far, they're shooting 6 for 7 from the field.
Horvath does a good job, not just finding people, but she shoots very well off the dribble.
Just became the single season all-time assist maker, 151 to date, averaging just over 5 a game. Kamara out there. Flores is now checked in wearing number 22, Nikki Flores, for the Foxes. She had a great tournament last year. And a nice block by a freshman there, Anna McLean.
Anna McLean is such a get for this Iona team. She is going to just blossom in Bozzella's system. You see the battle going on with McLean and Fifi Kamara, and Fifi getting beat up a little bit, turns around and gives a reaction foul. The official sees it.
Tony Bozzella electing to go to the bench because of the foul problems because of Weaver, and Kamara kind of stared down McLean after the play.
Well, I'll tell you, Kamara's not as big as McLean.
No.
and McLean is a freshman, so she doesn't know any better.
That's right. Colasar is checked in for Marist. She's a very good outside shooter. Flores. And nobody on the glass except Maroon.
And Iona is owning the defensive board.
Laura Huber is checked in, wearing number 34 for the Gales, and a foul as they went right at Kresge that time.
Well, in Bozzella's pregame conversation, we talked about what he wanted Hedden to do, and he had said that he wants Hedden to take Kresge to the basket because Hedden has about 2 inches on her, and you see it happen here. He wants her to take her to the hole. He wants her to post up the Defensive Player of the Year. And so far, everything he's talked about is starting to pay off.
It's been nearly 3 minutes since the Foxes scored. They find themselves down here 15-11. And Hedden bangs another one on the year, shooting 81.3% to lead her team. Kresge out there with Kamara. Sarah Smerdell wearing number 50 is checked in along with Flores. Colasar rounds out the 5 with the 3 ball. Kamara blocked by McLean. So for the time being, there's been no drop-off with Weaver going to the bench. McLean's come in with a couple defensive plays.
McLean gives them an entirely different defensive look. She's stronger in the paint. She is going to take Kamara to task underneath, and she's going to be very physical. You see her here. She's strong. She's big. And I'll tell you, she's not afraid of any contact. So Kamara, not necessarily liking contact, has not yet scored.
Lauren Huber picks up the personal. So the Gales picking them up in bunches now. And it's a 1-on-1 already. The Gales over the limit.
Now this could hurt Iona. It's the only thing. We talked about it in the key to the game. You had to keep people out of foul trouble. That's the one piece of the puzzle that Iona hasn't done today.
Smerdell has been just fabulous off the bench this year for Brian Georges. Had to start a couple times when Dolman went down with a concussion problem back in December. Averages 19 minutes a game and 6 points. She makes a couple. And it's 16-13 the Gales.
Dolman gets a little bit of breather because when Martina comes back into the game, she needs her fresh.
Foxes have made 3 of their 4 free throw attempts. McLean right back up. And Kamara for the clean. Kamara averages 7.9 rebounds a game, second best in the conference this year. Nikki Flores, a product out of New Jersey, had a wonderful tournament last year in the postseason, averaged 10.5 points a game. They're giving Kresge room.
All kinds of room. They want her to shoot the ball. They're giving her space.
And Kamara freed up. Smerdell for the putback. So Smerdell with big energy off the bench with a quick 4 for the Foxes.
Coach Georges spoke in the pregame about his players needing to be used early, getting his subs involved early in the game.
Another turnover on the Gales. It's plagued them here in the first 8:17 of the first half. The Gales lead by 1, 16-15. 11:43 left here in half 1.
We take a look here. Iona's up by 1. It's a lot of reason is because they've stopped the star Fifi Kamara, and they've done it with physical defense where everyone on the court knows where she is, everybody taking a shot at her, and McLean leaning on her each time she's in position. They force a miss with the body. Smerdell picks up and makes the bunny coming back, but Fifi is 1 for 5 in this stretch team.
And for the Foxes, they've taken 7 more shots here in the first 8+ minutes of this ball game. But they're only making 31% of the shots. Iona hasn't missed, basically. They're 6 for 9, 67%. But on the other side of the ledger, it's been turnovers. 7 on Iona, none on Marist.
Well, Iona's opted to play a physical brand of basketball. They've collected a few fouls because of it. They've turned the ball over 7 times in this ball game to Marist, 0 turnovers, and still maintain a 1-point lead.
Lauren DeFalco runs it at the point. A sophomore, played a lot as a freshman. And coming back there for the ball was Kresge, a very good rebounder as a guard, averaging 3.8 a game. Kresge out there with Smerdell, Dahlman, along with Kolazar, and Nikki Flores presently with the basketball. Flores, sophomore, 5'4", Montvale, New Jersey. They gave it up to Smerdell. I think she just likes to play against Iona. She had 16 in the first meeting.
But she did a good job in the three-point line all season long, and Martina has to be careful about how tough she plays her in the perimeter, so she's got to take a shot.
Stepping outside, Weber. They reinserted her with the 2 personal fouls. Nice tie-up, Horvath and Flores. A couple scrappy cats right there getting after it.
They may have to give Smerdell this shot all afternoon, partly because if they have Martina on her in the perimeter, Martina has to give her space. Martina has 2 fouls at the start of this game.
And for Smerdell, that's her first career three-pointer made. She was 0 for 5 prior to that. So they've scouted her. They know she's more a 15-foot type of jump shooter instead of a 19-plus. Velarde hit a 3 early in the ball game. She tried to ram it up there. Anger for the clear.
Iona doing a good job on the boards.
And it's going the other way.
And that's Martina's third, and with 10 minutes left in the first half, a third foul is what Coach Bozzella did not want to have happen. McLean coming back into the game for Weber, but Weber was all offense for them in the first 10 minutes of play.
Is Tony Bozzella now questioning himself?
Well, I think now that, he, in the beginning of the game, the officials were letting them play a little bit more. They tightened up a little bit in the paint.
Nice overplay there by Hedden. It will stay down at the Marist end. The officials are going to confer, though, to get the proper call.
Iona doing a good job on defense, Dean. What they're giving up is a 3-point shot. Knowing that Marist is not a great 3-point shooting team, they are not giving points up in the paint. When Fifi's been in the game, anything that's happened's been on the outside.
And Marist can knock down the 3 when pushed to the limit. They want the inside game, but Dolman can step out. We already saw that. Fifi Kamara more the inside player. Right now, Kamara is taking a rest. Vianney, MAAC All-Rookie team member this year.
And another rebound for Iona.
Anger stepping inside. And the Foxes have a 2-on-2 with Flores. Pretty spin. Nikki Flores, as DeFalco tried to get the charge, but she went to the corner on her.
It was a really nice move.
Foxes lead it by 4. Down to McLean. McLean not as polished inside, obviously, as Weber.
She's going to be, though. Once she realizes that she needs to look at the block and find her position before she shoots, she's be unstoppable. Her and Weber together, what a tandem.
The cutter is Smerdell, and 1. They have a walk before that. Take it away. So the Foxes called for the walk. No basket. It goes right back to the Gales.
Iona started the game 5 for 5 on field goals, and since then have been 1 for 8. You see the walk. This was a save, because if not, McLean may have picked up her second foul. So this was a big call in Iona's favor. Takes
a potential 3-point play away from Marist as well. Horvath looking for DeFalco. Vianney stripped her.
And the defense from Marist is starting to show its head. Field goals, you see it started out 5 for 5. Iona now 1 for 8.
Flores dipped inside that time with the shoulder, knocking over Horvath. And Horvath checking the teeth situation. She's okay. And it looks like McLean's checking out and Yeagley coming in.
Well, she went, you could see that. She was on fire going towards her and got away with it in the first one when Del Falco tried to take the flop. She got caught this time.
Then a short timeout taken here by the Gales. They find themselves down 20-16. You just touched on it. The hot start, knocking down their first 5 shots, but now only made 1 of their last 9.
Part of it is because Weber's on the bench. I mean, all of those points were coming from Weber early on. They're not now while she's sitting down.
Now here's the Broadway marketing mind-bending trivia question. Who was the last player to record over 30 points in a tournament game? The answer coming up in just a bit. In fact, it was just a couple years ago. Broadway marketing mind-bending branded solutions. So the Gales of Iona took a lead of 3 earlier. Marist has fought back. And they currently lead by 4. The Marist cheerleaders here in attendance. The Marist band as well. Marist trying to get back to the championship game for the 3rd consecutive year. Iona with the multitude of turnovers sealed, the 9, averaging 17.5 on the year.
They can't survive a game with those kinds of numbers and expect it against a team like Marist to convert on those on every occasion.
A couple things going against them right now. Weber, their star player, is on the bench with 3 personal fouls and the addition of all those turnovers. McLean brought it back outside. 12 on the shot clock. Yeagley with a runner. Anger draws the foul.
A couple of possessions, they were just tossing the ball up there, waiting for the call, and got it. Anger will find herself at the foul line. Since 13:05, Marist has been on a 9-0 run, and the last basket that Iona scored was at the 14-minute mark, team. So they've gone scoreless now for 6 minutes.
Well, Marist went dry for 3 minutes. Now the Gales for the 6-minute period, as Anger does answer, though, and makes that one, shooting 81% on the year. Transferred in from Winthrop, sat out last year, but was able to practice with the team at Winthrop. She averaged nearly 10 a game and 4.4 rebounds. Under the 8-minute mark, 20-18, Marist. First semifinal of the day. The Foxes the number 1 seed, the Gales number 4. Kamara steps outside. She is not known for knocking down threes. That's her 9th made of the year.
And Iona's strategy of giving them that look, Marist is taking it, and we're seeing their shooting ability from the outside now.
Deep range that time from Tiara Hedden. Hedden on the year is making 33%. And that's a big answer there by the Gales.
Every time you think that Marist is going to edge away, Dean, Iona does something to bring it back.
Kamara coming right back.
Iona would be happy if Kamara took those jump shots all afternoon.
She's 2 of 8 from the field. Slapped out of bounds right in front of the Marist bench. Fifi Kamara has had a nice stroke going here from the outside. Kamara shooting 25% on the year. But she lights up a 3, stepping outside the elbow.
Welcome to Marist College, a liberal arts college bridging the traditions of the past with the tools of the future. Drawing inspiration from the historical, cultural, and artistic heritage of the Hudson River Valley, and supported by a unique partnership with its neighbor, IBM, Marist College holds fast to the timeless values of its rich heritage, while embracing advanced technology in the service of education.
I know most of you just graduated high school last year, or maybe you've been working for a while, seen some things, done some things, but nothing has prepared you for what's going to happen now. We're going to set goals for each of you, way up here, way up here, and then we're going to help you exceed them, believe it. And when finished, you're going to have not just a degree, you'll be a different person, a better person. Welcome to
Come back to the Citizens Bank MAAC Women's Championship semifinal round, 23-21. The top seed Marist currently leading by the bucket. We had asked you earlier in the Broadway marketing mind-bending trivia question, who was the last player to record over 30 points in a tournament game? We bring up the answer, and it was quite the game that day. Diana Vance, St. Peter's, 33 points against the Gales of Iona right here at the Pepsi Arena, knocking down 7 threes in that ball game. Broadway marketing, mind-bending, branded solutions. Heading inside. And Dahlman with good presence on the defensive glass.
And Iona's hanging in this game and staying close without its best player, Weber, on the bench with 3 fouls in the first half.
And turning the ball over 9 times. Kick to the corner, Vianney. They've really coveted her today. Velarde already got one from that spot. And Kamara getting down and dirty there. And a tie-up. The arrow will give it back to the Gales. So that time, Fifi was hungry going for the ball.
Iona has an edge in rebounding. They've had 14 rebounds in this first half, and Marist has just had 9.
Kamara's been held to just 5 points, 2 of 7 from the field. In her 2 games against the Gales, she averaged 24.5 points and 7 rebounds. In the game of Poughkeepsie, she had a fabulous game with a total of 31 points, a new career high. In fact, it was the season high in the league this year. That's Yeagley, her second bomb of the ball game.
That was 24 feet from the basket. So, see, Iona now takes its lead. It hasn't led other than the first 5 or 6 minutes of the game and puts themselves right back in it. Yeagley is 2 for 2 from three-point land right now, 6 points.
And they have made 5 as a team. Dahlman got fooled that time as Del Falco was the leading tower of Pisa going down.
This is a nice shot here. Hayden finds her open, and Yeagley just lets it fly.
Yeagley with a couple of those here today. Last year, she led the MAAC in free throw percent. Her numbers are down this year, but that's because Iona's changed their philosophy. They went with the inside game because of Anger as well as Weber, and a trip called on Marist.
This is just the 5th personal foul called on Marist in this half. You see that the dribble going to the right, and you see the inadvertent trip really by Velarde. It wasn't anything. It wasn't Fifi's foul. It was Velarde's foul.
That went off the mark by Yeagley. First foul on Velarde. They go with Kresge, Smerdell, along with Velarde, Kamara, and Vianney. And a push into the back. Anger was trying to rough up Kamara that time. They played a couple times this year. Marist won in overtime by 2 in Poughkeepsie, and then Marist won by 18 in New Rochelle a few weeks ago. But in that game, Martina Weber sat out. She sat out, in fact, 3 of their last 6 because of the tendonitis in her Achilles.
The largest lead of the game so far has been 5, and there have been 5 lead changes and 5 ties. Fifi Kamara scores her 900th career points. Remember, she's just been at Marist for 2 seasons, having transferred in from community college. So congratulations to Fifi on scoring her 900th point of her career.
And playing in her 57th game today for the Foxes. Horvath stepping outside now for Pettijohn. They got quickly onto Yeagley that time. Nice block by Kamara. Shot clock at 10 seconds. All tied up at 24. 5:20 left here in the first half. Horvath with 5, a wild runner.
Nice move.
With Tony Horvath, who they're going to rely on today for composure out there, running it at the point.
And with key players sitting on the bench, Iona keeps itself 2 points ahead of the best team in the conference.
Vianney with that launch. Vianney just hasn't seen that one drop today.
Usually she is red hot from there. We did the game when she scored 18 points in the first half of them threes.
Yeah, she made 5 threes in that game against Fairfield, a career high 21 points. So far today, she's 0 for 3. Horvath has scored their last 2 and 5 in total. That's a 3-ball.
Coach Pizzella said that they would use the pick and roll, and then when Marist stepped back from it, they would take the shot.
Horvath was 7 in the ball game for the Gales. So she's really stepped up her presence because of the lead scorer, Weber, being in foul problems. The rejection by McLean. She's had a couple here in the first 20.
McLean has come up big with Weber on the bench.
Pettijohn out there along with Hedden, McLean, Horvath, who's bent over. She needs a little bit of air. Pettijohn got it back off the rejection. And now Brian Georges will call for a timeout.
And this is the largest lead of the game for either team. Iona up by 7 with its best player sitting on the bench for more than 10 minutes. Who would have thought? Horvath, again, we featured her in our Star Watch. Great little point guard, goes left, puts it up. pulls off this terrific McLean screen for the three-point shot, responsible for 5 in the last 30 seconds. And the Iona bench just loving this.
Yeah, she has scored 5 of her 7 here in that short period of time. Anthony Pozzella talking to his team. You see Martina Weber acknowledging some of the crowd faithful directly behind our broadcast location. Weber's been on the bench, though, with the 3 fouls. And just the 7 by Weber, and she scored early. She was 3 for 3 in her first 3 shots.
Well, she got them started, and we talked and we had said that Iona's flaw this season has been their turnovers and that they start out slowly. They've done an amazing job with her on the bench with 9 turnovers to Marist's 3, and they are still up by 7.
The 3 ball has been very helpful to them. Down to Smurdell. So the timeout, they diagnosed the play, and Smurdell has been big for them here in the first half with 9.
And Iona's doing it with good shooting and terrific rebounding. And McLean is the unsung hero in this first half. She picks up another foul now. Now we find a position where...
3-second violation on McLean.
Well, that was a good call then.
31-26. Gales have jumped out, leading by as many as 7. It's 5 right now with 3:36 left in half 1. Well, back to our coverage here on the MAAC Television Network. Currently, Iona leads Marist 31-26, entering play today, coming off a win yesterday against Niagara and stepping up to take on the number 1 seeded Foxes. A look at some of the numbers. Gales are shooting very well, 50%. Go against the 10 turnovers, but 19 rebounds, very key.
They had 60 yesterday's game against Fairfield. That was the highest total in the MAAC. They ended up 3rd overall in it. Amazing amount of rebounds. They're doing the same thing today.
Tony Horvath is called for that foul. And Smurdell, who's been near perfect throughout the day, shoots 2.
It's a nice pass by Kresge. She finds people free. That's what she does well. And Smurdell is doing the job on the inside.
Well, Horvath picks up her first foul. Smurdell gets another opportunity. They recruited her out of Mentor, Ohio. She graduated summa cum laude from her high school, 2nd team Ohio, back her senior year. And it's a 3-point lead for Iona.
And she's the leading scorer right now. She has 11 points in the ball game, so she's the one that's keeping them in it.
Season high, 16 a couple times, including the first meeting against the Gales. Here's Yeagley. You heard that one. A swat to the sideline.
And Yeagley just smiles as she walks away. Dolman smiling. You could hear that one, Dean.
I don't know if I've ever heard a block that loud here at courtside.
It's kind of a smack sound.
Good that she hit the ball.
No, not even. Whack, it's out of here.
And she turns a little bit. And a nice jumper there by Anger. That's a 2-pointer. And we're at the 3-minute mark, a 5-point Gale lead.
And Iona is 5 for 7 at 3-point lead. They're ready to play this game.
Velarde stepping out there. Flores. First option always inside. Fifi Kamara's on the bench. A little hook pass back for Smurdell, and she was the last to touch.
Iona, Coach Boselli talked about, we'll give you the outside shot. We'll challenge your ability to shoot from the outside. We're not giving you the inside look, and they haven't done it so far.
Gales have Horvath out there with Hedden. Barrison, the man. Pettijohn joins him, along with Anger and Yeagley. Anger and Kresge came over and clipped her.
And Kresge really made some distance up when she came from the help side, but caught her finger, and Anger will find herself at the foul line. You see it, she comes all the way over, but just looks like she has ball and just bothers her as she continues to hang on to it.
Second one against Kresge. They continue to shoot well.
Anger 100% from the line today.
Well,
so
the team is.
It's pretty phenomenal what's happening. The shooting, 67% from 3-point line, 50% or better from the floor, and 100% from the foul line. Best offense in the league, Dean, against the best defense in the league. And right now, the offense has the edge.
Yeah. Anger buries a couple. They're a perfect 7 for 7 from the line, and it's back up to match their biggest lead at 7.
You see them back off from the 3. challenging the players to shoot the ball. And that gives Iona a huge advantage when they shoot threes on the boards.
Yeah, there's nobody under the glass. Already 21 rebounds in the ball game for the Gales.
And remember, this is without Weber. Weber has 3 sitting on the bench.
Anger follows, and it's stripped there by Flores.
And another rebound. So they're getting second shots. They're shooting the ball well. And they're stopping the inside play that brought Marist to this. And they're out hustling them everywhere. They're going for the ball. Right now, Marist really looking like they're out of sync.
And Horvath couldn't get it in. Calls for their second timeout here in the first half. Well, the Gales of Iona, what an improved program. Just a year ago, they won 6 games. In the regular season this year, they won 16. Had a 9-game improvement overall. And Anthony Pozzella, the co-coach of the year in the MAAC, along with his counterpart today, Brian Georges. In the spring of 1989, the MAAC sent 2 women's basketball teams to the NCAA tournament for the first time. Fairfield won the automatic bid, and LaSalle received an at-large bid. LaSalle defeated UConn 72-63 back in '89, making them the first MAAC women's basketball team to win an NCAA tournament game. Well, the winner of this tournament gets the automatic qualifying berth to the NCAA tournament, which will be happening starting on March the 18th. The selection Monday will be on March the 13th. The strip there by Flores. Skipping it, new player of the game, Shannon Minter. She's been playing very well off the bench. And Kamara back in.
A little confusion as to who had Kamara in the paint. The only time she's been left, and you see McLean trying to get back in the ball game. Fifi's in, McLean will be in, leaning on her.
That's right, bumping her around a little bit. 8 points today for Kamara, shooting only 33% from the field. Head had a curtsy that time a little bit because Smurdell was standing right in front of her.
Really thread the needle with the basketball. Did a nice job on movement. Just didn't fall for her.
Flores had to start a game against Siena this year up here in the Albany area because Vianney was out with an illness, and she had 10 points and 5 assists in that ball game. Here's Minter on the air ball. It's picked out by Velarde. And a 3-second violation because Velarde was laying in the lane.
We haven't seen Kamara very much on the inside. On this possession, however, she's found inside. There's a little confusion as to who would pick her up.
Well, the final minute of play here in the first half. Gales lead it by 5 with the basketball. Flores to mark on Horvath. That's a good matchup. Head and turning on Minter. It'll be Marist basketball here with 32.9, so 2.9 in differential between the game clock and the shot clock.
And Marist will use the clock and bring it down and get a good shot out of it and hope that they can go in just down by 2 or 3.
Minter moves the screen there by Smurdell. Kamara 3 of 9 from the field in the ball game. Getting bumped around by McLean.
Everybody's pushing Fifi. You look in that paint, and every time she goes through, she is touched.
Smurdell, 15-footer, smooth.
Smurdell keeping Marist in this ball game.
And Horvath just couldn't get it up before the horn goes off to end this first half. Iona 35, Marist 32. You mentioned Smurdell keeps them in, but Iona shooting very well from the outside, had inside presence early. There's Fifi Kamara talking with her head coach, Brian Georges. Obviously, she's disgruntled without getting foul calls. She did get pushed around there in the paint a little bit.
Well, Fifi doesn't like physical play, and Iona is going after him. You see it on the boards. You see it in the paint.
We'll be back with our halftime as the Foxes trail for one of the infrequent times this year at the break. They're down by 3. Marist in uncharted waters. Only trailing for the 5th time this year at halftime. They're 1-3 when they trail. Gales have led 14 times at the break, and they have won 11 of those first 14 battles. Kresge out there with Velarde, Vianney, Dahlman, and Kamara. The story of the first half, Kamara was held in check with 8 points. She averaged over 24 in the first 2 meetings. And a foul called on the release of the pass, I believe on Kamara. We'll check and see if it was Kamara or Kresge. Kresge on the release of the pass, her third personal. For the Gales of Iona, Martina Weber out since the 10-minute mark, but the slack was picked up from Tony Horvath and company. Biani got caught in there. I think she surprised Kamara with that pass. And a foul.
And Anger picked up, I believe, her second foul. Martina's got to be a little careful there. She's real aggressive. And, you know, they need her in the ball game. Anger's third foul. And Martina and she in situations, Dean, the three inside players have got 3 fouls. This is too much.
Marist going for their 22nd win overall. They entered play today at 21-6. The player of the year in the MAAC, Fifi Kamara, now has 9 points. She's made 2 of 3 at the free throw line, and that one off the mark. Gales now go with Hedden along with Anger out there, and Horvath, Weber, and Yeagley. That one short. Wrestled down by Velarde.
Weber sat 10-plus minutes in the first half plus a halftime, so she's going to be a little rusty coming in.
She's been banged up as well with a shoulder. A step through there by Kamara. And Weber just showing how physical she can get. Outlets the ball.
How strong she is inside.
6 different players scored for the Gales in that first half. In fact, 3 players had at least 7 points. Another foul on Marist.
You see Weber inside, boy, and she and Fifi are just going at one another, and Fifi goes up, and Weber keeps her position and just rips the ball out of Fifi's hands.
Martina Weber's a good story. She was actually recruited a few years ago by Duke, but she wanted to stay back in her native land of Bitburg, Germany. And then an email got out that she wanted to come back to the States, and Anthony Bozzella jumped on that and recruited her. She comes in as a junior. She's 23 years old, and she was the 2nd leading scorer to MAAC this year.
And she is just beautifully built. She's strong.
Another foul. Outside official makes the call. Our referee today is Kathy Lonergan.
And that's the 4th foul on Martina Weber. And you see underneath Martina holding and quickly Pettijohn trying to get back in the ball game.
She didn't get up to the table in time, so they play on. Weber knocks it out of the post. So Weber with the 4 personal fouls. Kamara shot it wide. Dahlman put back. So the twin tandem there, the inside players of Kamara and Dahlman, add to Maris's total.
Weber has to be careful that she doesn't pick up an offensive foul on this stretch.
Kresge, little lead for Dahlman. And Dahlman has scored their first 2 here in the second half.
And Iona relinquishes the lead and elects to keep Weber in there with 4. And now Coach Bozzella calls a timeout. His assistant was saying that he needed a timeout before that. Bozzella opted to let it string out a little bit.
So Weber got the foul, and Bozzella decided late to get the new player into the ball game. Now they call for timeout as Bozzella pleads his case. The Foxes have come on strong at the start of the second half. One spurt to start the second half for the Foxes. They were down by 3. At halftime, they currently lead 37-36 in a game that has featured 6 lead changes and 3 ties. Martina Weber, plagued by fouls in the first half, picked up her 4th early here in the second half.
And this is such a big call because Martina pushes Fifi away. The trail official sees it, makes the call. That's her 4th foul. Now she sits down. She's played just 10 minutes this entire game.
Hedden out there along with Pettijohn, and Hedden went to jump. She had Velarde in her vision, and she's called for the travel.
And Martina just frustrated, just 8 points, all scored in 7 in the first half. Can't help her team with 4 fouls. If this game gets away, though, don't be surprised if Coach Bozzella goes to her early and just asks her to stay out of foul trouble. I don't think having her on Fifi was in her best interest today.
And Anthony Bozzella has taken Hedden out of the lineup and is having a chat with her right now, inserting Lauren DeFalco. Cut inside, Kamara. Off the nice assist by Dahlman. So Dahlman leads Marist with 10 points prior to that shot by Kamara. She now goes into double digits with 11. Yeagley for the three. And Kamara on the glass.
And here comes Marist.
And a reach in there by Horvath.
Kresge on the way to the basket got fouls. Hadn't put the shot up, so. And Fifi starting to heat up in this second half. You know, she starts out slow, but when she gets the basketball without any physical presence, she'll make the shot.
Horvath with a couple fouls. Yeagley is out. Now for the Gales. Pettijohn along with Horvath in there with Anger. Hedden has been reinserted with Del Falco.
And Marist has 3 players in double digits. Kamara has 11, Dahlman has 10, and Smerdell has 13. Iona has no players in double digits.
Tapped out by Ed, who appeals to the outside official, but to no avail. And Marist will keep it with a fresh shot clock.
And Iona has not had a field goal. Now, they've scored a foul shot. They have not had a field goal since 3:09 left in the first half.
Kamara got knocked on her derriere. And Anger tried to talk to Hedden now. You wonder, did the officials gather at halftime and talk about it a little bit? Because Fifi was getting roughed up pretty good in the post.
I do think that the coaches, Brian Georges, spoke with the official as he was going out the door. He wanted to alert them to, you know, you cannot displace a post player. Displacement is supposed to be called. The officials are calling it now.
Hedden played on D there by Velarde, who cut her off. Anger steps outside. That's a 2-pointer. She was on the line.
They needed that. Hedden has not scored. And Hedden, again, had a great game yesterday. Double-digit score. Has been held in check. Part of it is because Kresge, defensive player of the game, of the league, is defending her.
Long one there by Velarde. Good seal on the glass. Del Falco, she wants to rush him up. Del Falco is from East Brunswick, New Jersey, 5'6" sophomore. A 10-footer. Anger tied up on the play by Vianney, who reached in there.
It looks as if Marist's defensive intensity has gone up another level. You know, they might have been going at 3. They're going at 4 right now.
They're giving up less than 54 points a game. They did allow Iona to score 35 in that first half. 1 point Marist lead. And we're back here at the Pepsi Arena, Albany, New York. First semifinal today. Marist leads 39-38. Fifi Kamara was quiet in that first half, but she's more active here in the second half.
And defense gets this team motivated. You see Fifi all over it. You see Kresge going for it. You see Fifi coming back into it. It's all about the defense. And now what you're seeing is them go after loose balls. They're hitting the ground. They're tying it up. And this is what brought Marist to the dance. They have to play it, and it'll ignite their offense.
Gales have only hit 1 of the first 5 shots here in the second half. That one chipped in for Pettijohn. So the Gales now have regained the lead, 40-39.
And neither team able to deliver a knockout punch. And the surprise has been Marist, who is hands down the league leader, not being able to deliver the knockout punch early in the first half.
Now, we talked about it in the open, too. They feel the pressure coming in. Are they stale? Haven't played in a week's time. This is Iona's second game in 2 days.
And Iona coming in perhaps with nothing to lose.
Just a tremendous season for them. Total turnaround last year, 6-22. Already with 17 wins this year. And that's what Anthony Bozzella wanted. He wanted his team to play loose. Don't worry about the pressure situation. Where Marist might be a little bit tighter. They know they're the top team in the league, but they're not performing that way at the present time.
No, they're not. They're not performing at the level of excellence that they've performed at all year long.
Velarde open for the 3-ball.
And 3-point shots aren't what Marist needs right now. What they need is to get the ball back inside to Dahlman and get the ball back into Fifi's hands.
Kamara with the 11, Dahlman with the 10. Iona basketball. Shot clock down to 15. Del Falco sets up Hedden for the long-range jumper. And Dahlman on the weak side. Marist rebounding much better here at the start of the second half. They were out-rebounded by 9 in that first half. Flores out there with Vianney, Dahlman, Kamara, along with Velarde. Flores for the 3.
And again, Iona's game plan, double down, let them kick the ball out, and we will live with their ability to make the outside shot. First half, it was all Iona. Marist fighting back with the D and starting to make some shots.
Marist not known for their three-point marksmanship. Pushed down low. You could call that on a variety of players, but they got Fifi Kamara. That's her second personal.
You see it, Kamara double team, wisely getting the ball out. You see Kamara getting pushed again on the boards.
It's like a sandwich out there.
You know, and I'll tell you, the player that did the most damage we haven't seen come in yet is McLean. McLean, again, has 3 fouls, so it might be that Bozzella is trying to protect. He's got one center with 4 and another with 3.
Vianney is called for the hold on Del Falco.
And Vianney's been quiet on the offensive end today. Usually a great three-point shooter, hasn't knocked one down. Each
team now with 4 fouls here in the second half with 13:38 left. Anger marked defensively by Kamara. Gales have won 4 in a row, 8 of their last 9. Their only loss was to Marist. Tipped out there by Anger. The officials confer, and they both nod. It's Marist.
Iona all over the offensive glass, though.
Ryan Georges just named MAAC co-coach of the year for the 2nd consecutive year. Last year, he was tied up by Bill Agrona of Niagara. This year, his counterpart, down at the other end of the court, Anthony Bozzella was named co-coach of the year. Kamara tried to step through and called for the walk.
Everybody leaning on Fifi. Fifi is not getting, she is earning every point that she has. You see it here. You see her get displaced, but no call. It was a good no call. She really could have gotten called for the sweep away with her hand.
Yeah, that was a discard on her part. Pettijohn on the step out. Horvath driving the basketball. And Smurdell, who led him in scoring with 13 in the first half, cleans the glass. Horvath trailing the play. She went down rather heavily at the end of that play. Here's Vianney still looking for her first 3 of the ball game.
And Marist going to the glass now and really trying to get the ball. But Iona doing a much better job in the rebounding end of it today.
Vianney's 0 for 3, by the way, for the Foxes, and she leads them, shooting over 40% on threes. Here's a long one by Pettijohn. Pettijohn shooting just 25% on threes this year.
Iona's feeling it. Everybody's in, everybody doing it. Pettijohn has done a nice job coming in.
Another lead change, Iona by 1.
Pettijohn is 4 for 5 from the field with 9 points.
Flores. And a late whistle as Anger stepped into the lane there to challenge Flores. 4th one on Anger. So you've got Martina Weber with 4, Anger with 4, and their replacement, McLean, with 3.
We said early on in the keys to the game, Iona's big people had to stay out of foul trouble. They haven't done that today. And there's too much time to have 2 key people sitting on the bench with 4 fouls.
Flores makes that 72% free throw shooter on the year.
And this is a bad foul because there's nothing she can do. She's in the paint. Keep your hands up and keep them straight. She put her hands, she comes down, she breaks that vertical plane. She had the player beat. She had to keep her hands up behind her ears.
Anthony Bozzella used to be the head coach at LIU. He turned that program around a couple of years. He went 34 and 27. He says he's coached in big games, the NEC championship. Now in the semifinal here today of the MAAC. Iona has never won consecutive games in the MAAC tournament.
He's done a great job, and he's keeping them in this ball game. There are 10 lead changes, 4 ties. It has been nip and tuck the entire time that both teams have been on the court.
Yeagley stopping Kresge from the clear breakaway. Reagan Pettijohn shooting only 25% on threes this year, puts her team ahead at the moment with a 3 from straight on.
Welcome to Marist College, a liberal arts college bridging the traditions of the past with the tools of the future. Drawing inspiration from the historical, cultural, and artistic heritage of the Hudson River Valley, and supported by a unique partnership with its neighbor, IBM, Marist College holds fast to the timeless values of its rich heritage while embracing advanced technology in the service of education.
Marist band here in attendance at the Pepsi Arena, our first semifinal of the day. Marist, the 1 seed against Iona, 44-43 right now, Red Foxes. Iona came in with a mission in the ballgame, and so far they've accomplished it.
Their game plan was to shut down the middle, be physical on the inside, make sure you know where Fifi is every moment that Marist has the basketball. They've done a nice job. Everybody surrounds her. When she gets the basketball, she is either forced to dish it back out, and you see her here finding players, and Marist is being challenged to make the three. So far, they've done that in the second half.
Back to live action. Marist basketball, 18 on the shot clock. Smerdell, who led them with 13 in the first half, put back attempt. McLean jumped out on her. We'll see who the call goes against, and it is on McLean, and now she'll pick up another personal foul.
Well, McLean has 2 now, but the story of the game is that Martina Weber has played a handful of minutes, all in the first half and maybe a minute into the second half. She's played just 9 minutes today and has 4 fouls. Jessica Anger, the other starter, is sitting on the bench with 4 fouls. Both players brought 8 points to the table when they were in there.
Smerdell kept this team in the ball game in the first half with a 13. And that's the first time she's missed at the free throw line. She had made 5 in a row, but a reset. 45-43 Foxes, their basketball, 11:20 left here in the second half. The winner of this game advances to the championship game tomorrow here at noon on the MAAC television network. Flores already hit one, and now she's got 2 here in the second half, a triple.
Well, she stepped up now and hit the outside shot. Biani not hot from the field today. Hasn't really done a nice job with getting her shot off, so they're going to another guard, and Marist is guard deep, Dean.
Very guard deep. Off to the corner for Hedden, and she finds it on a 3.
And that's Hedden's 8th point of the game. She averages 13 a game. They've done a nice job on defense. She's 2 for 7 from the floor. She heats up. She can keep Iona close.
The cutter is Kamara, steered it wide. Yeagley on the glass. Gales down by 1. Horvath dishing inside. They got it to McLean, and looks like Smerdell picks up the personal.
Yeah, it's just her first personal foul, but McLean is a big target, does a nice job on the boards. Well, I'll tell you, Fifi is having to earn every single basket that she gets because McLean is just leaning on her. Anger back in the game. You see it here, both Fifi and Smerdell. Actually, the call should have gone on Fifi. She hit her first, but the official under the basket picked it up. Anger back in. She has 4 fouls. Pettijohn, who's played really very, very well together today. Martinez sitting with 4. Jessica Anger on the floor with 4.
And McLean, when you go back and look at the numbers, it was a good foul by Smerdell. She shoots only 35%, and she misses 2 right there. New player in for the Foxes, wearing number 15, Danielle McCray out of Lyons, New York. Sets up in the low post. She transferred in from the same school that Fifi did, from Genesee. And McLean, who just eats up space inside, pulls down the rebound.
And whenever you have a long shot, the defense has an advantage on the defensive boards, and Iona's done a great job on the boards today.
Dahlman giving a little bit of room to Pettijohn. And the overplay by Smerdell. Big anticipation defensively.
Good defense. She just stepped right in front. The right place at the right time. Smerdell read the high-low very well.
Foxes are number 9 in the nation in score defense, giving up 54.3 a game. Smerdell likes it from there. Sarah Smerdell, perfect from the field.
Well, she's put up MVP numbers today. That ties her career high with 16 points.
Originally set against Iona in meeting number 1 and then tied later in the year. Officials confer again, tipped out by Marist. Sarah Smurdell has been just tremendous off the bench.
She's done it on the defensive end, and she has stepped up big on the offensive end. She's made the shots when Marist has needed it, and she's stepped up on the D.
Smurdell giving a bit of a blow with the 16 points, tying that career high. And a whistle on the outside called against Marist. The officials today, the referee Kathy Lonergan, the umpires Kevin Collier and Marty Novich. Gales, before this year, had suffered 4 consecutive 20-loss seasons. And this year, the regular season, they went 16-11. The strength of a win against Niagara pushed them to 17-11 after yesterday's quarterfinal win.
Kresge has really shut down Hedden today. She's passing the ball real well, but she's not getting very many looks at the basket.
Anger with a soft toss there from the corner. And Kresge to bring it up. Joined by McCray, Flores, Dahlman, and Kamara. Dahlman with the ball fake and a putback after the rejection there by McLean, and a timeout from the Marist bench.
And Marist with a 3-point lead with 8 minutes left in the game. I would guess that Martina Weber will get back in at about the 6-minute mark in hopes that the offense will get some more energy from her presence.
How about the play at Dahlman? First team All-MAAC performer along with Fifi Kamara this year. Shooting 17 times, over 50% from the field. She was number 3 this year in the league. And Dahlman has really helped out with Fifi Kamara when Fifi gets into trouble. Fidelis Care, proud to sponsor the Fidelis Care Family Section. Fidelis Care providing free or low-cost health insurance to all New Yorkers through the Child and Family Health Plus programs. Tim Murray's family. Tim's the athletic director at Marist. His lovely wife Barbara with all their youngsters here in attendance. Del Falco out there with Horvath for the Gales. They go double high post now with Hedden, Anger, and also Pettijohn. Vianney to match up on Horvath. Vianney still played tough defense, even though her long shot hasn't gone down. And Kresge, getting nearly 4 rebounds a game, pulls another one down. That's her 5th in the ball game.
Kresge's just one of those players, just doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
Doesn't make a lot of points, but does everything else well.
Just runs the ship.
Overplay by Anger.
And Anger
shows her anger.
Fouled out of the game.
She's gone. First disqualification we've seen today.
And Martina in a little bit earlier than I think Coach Bozzella wanted, because she's up with 7 and change, 7:46 left in the ball game. Bossella's got to be upset about this. You see it. Anger gets angry on this call. She thought she had all ball. Bang, she's unhappy and out of the game.
Pontiac, the official performance machines of the MAAC. Play back in here at the Pepsi Arena. Full day of activity. We've got another game for you in the women's division semifinals, as Canisius will be taking on Loyola. And after that, on the MAAC Television Network, we've got 3 games in the men's division. Put back attempt and good by McLean, who really worked. Check that head, and who really worked inside that time.
Had a nice move on the baseline. Took it in hard and went after her own rebound. And they've rebounded very, very well. That's Hedden's 10th rebound of the ball game. You see it. She goes to the baseline with her left hand. Nice move up. Comes up a little bit short. Then great ups. Goes up. Dahlman gets a piece of her.
And with the conventional 3, we are tied again at 51-51 this time.
And Hedden, 11 points, 10 rebounds. Double-double for her today.
Velarde and Kresge, along with Smurdell, Vianney, and Dahlman. Maris definitely would like to get Vianney a long shot in this one. Love to run Smurdell on a baseline. Only the 2nd time she's missed today. Gales 3 years ago on the MAAC, they went winless, 0-18. This year ended up 13-5, and ended up as the 4th seed coming into the playoffs. Weber has been quiet because she's been on the bench most of the game because of foul problems. And she had a word there with Coach Pozzella after the release of the shot. I think they want her to obviously go down low.
Well, they need her down low. They need her to be asking for the ball. But, she's got a great stroke on the outside, and she can pass the ball.
She hit her first 3 shots, but has since missed her last 3. Calling for the ball.
She can't force her offense. That would be to her disadvantage. She's got to play for a few minutes and get her groove back and then take her shot. She doesn't want to do that yet.
6.5 left in this one. Deadlocked at 51.
And Pettijohn has picked up Fifi Kamara, and Weber is playing Murdell, and then they switch and keep Weber back in the middle.
Kamara had a notion to go against Weber, and then the step through. Del Falco. Back is Flores. Wise move by Del Falco to pull out. Turning the corner is Weber. And Marist had an opportunity to step inside right there and maybe pick up the charge. Here's Flores. Gorgeous move. And a foul.
And Weber may have played her last play in this game. One of those fouls you don't want to see a big player pick up, especially a 5th foul.
It is her 5th. She's gone. She got completely fooled on this one.
Well, she just reached in, should have stepped away, had nothing to win from it, went for the block, caught a hand.
So two players now have been disqualified by fouls. Anger along with Weber. Weber leads with 8 points, and that's about half of her average on the year.
But she just got called an early foul trouble. She got off to a great start as the game began. Iona traditionally starts out slow, and you see how she ends up having to go to the bench. Flores, great spin move. Weber in the wrong place, tries to make something that doesn't happen on D, picks up her 5th.
And because Horvath didn't stop the ball out front on the spin, caused the big people to get into foul problems.
Now McLean back in the ball game. You take a look at Marist, they have 4 people in double digits. Murdell with 16, Dolman with 12, Kamara 11, and Flores, great job off the bench today, with 11. Iona, Anger, and Hedden both have 10.
And when Marist scores 3 or more players in double figures the last 3 years, they are 37-3. So the depleted roster of the Gales will have to sit right next to their head coach, Anthony Pozzella.
And 2 big starters, Weber and Anger, have fouled out.
Pettijohn. Flores gets after it.
And we're going to see 5 minutes of hit-the-floor basketball like we've never seen, because both these teams know what it means. It's do or die time.
Kamara freed up and missed it. 4 of 16 from the field now for the MAAC Player of the Year.
And this Iona team just won't go away. Just when you think Marist is going to make its knockout, Iona comes up with a huge rebound, gets it inside. Now McLean, as you mentioned before, not a very good foul shooter, but needs one now. Horvath, nice job finding the open player. McLean, big target, goes up strong.
And that's her first made of the ball game. She had bricked 2 earlier.
And defensively, credit to Iona, because they're just banging this child. Fifi not taking a shot without feeling a body on it.
Nothing but air on that free throw attempt by McLean. But Anthony Pozzella has found a real post player of the future in Anna McLean, a freshman from Freeport, New York.
Well, you know she'll get home with a whole workout for her summer schedule. Part of it will be foul shooting. Part of it will be knowledge of where she is on the block when she receives the ball with her back to the basket.
They still have Weber coming back as a junior, and Anger transfer will be a senior next year, so they'll be a formidable opponent.
Well, Yeagley is the only player that graduates, and he feels very good, Coach Pozzella, about what he's bringing in.
Another air ball shot, this time by Marist. And Smerdell realized they were in a shot clock situation, tried to get it to Velarde, but it ate up too much time.
Marist cannot like the position that it is in with 4 minutes left in a ball game. Just up by 2 against this upstart Iona team that has nothing to lose. Smurdell just does everything she can to keep this ball alive.
And Coach Bozzella has to go to the bench and bring in Lauren Huber, who only averages 8 minutes a game because he's got to give a blow to McLean, who's played extra minutes today.
And she'll go out for a couple of minutes and then she'll get right back in again.
Yeah, he'll probably bring her back after the 4-minute media timeout. Here's Huber. Horvath by her lonesome.
And if there ever was a big shot in the ball game, it was at the 4-minute mark. Iona up by 1.
Kresge brings it across, picked up there by Hedden. A 1-point Gale lead. Huber marks Smurdell. Colasar has been reinserted into lineup. She's also a 3-point shooter.
And Marist has not played in a whole lot of close ball games.
That's for sure. Kresge finds Colasar wide open. Big answer. Courtney Colasar coming off the bench out of Painesville, Ohio. Foxes regain a 2-point lead. And a timeout on the court.
After a costly turnover, DeFalco really should have narrowed that passing angle and not tossed the ball off the way it
happened right in front of her own bench.
Horvath, huge 3-point shot. Iona takes the lead.
And then the answer by Courtney Colasar as she knocks down her 20th of the year. It may be the most important. Along with Cecilia DeMarco, I'm Dean Darling. Good one going on here in the final 3.5 minutes. That one wide by Dahlman. And Horvath comes up holding her hand a little bit, but it'll be Iona basketball as they trail by just 2 points with 3:20 left.
And now Marist turning the pressure up a little bit in the full court. And it's a game now of the team that makes fewest mistakes down the stretch.
12 lead changes, 5 ties. Hedden with Pettijohn out there, along with McLean, Yeagley, and Horvath, deflected there by Flores.
And just 10 seconds left on the shooting clock, so Iona wants to get itself a good shot. Calling a set right now. Horvath holds up a 2.
Pettijohn looking for a guard. And there it's Horvath. And Horvath, realizing she was in trouble, kind of dipped in on the long shot. Kresge with Kamara, Colasar, Dahlman, Flores on the floor. Kamara was fighting for the rebound, but she got sandwiched again, and the Gales come away again.
Every time they've needed a rebound, they've got one. Give it to the Gales.
Here's Hedden. And an offensive foul. And 2 Gales go down inside, along with Fifi Kamara.
Hedden went hard, and that's her 3rd. She's had a really solid game.
And she went flying through the post area and was vulnerable.
She's holding her knee, and let's hope it's not a serious injury because this kid has such a wonderful future with Iona.
She's holding that right knee.
It might have been just a knee on knee, and that's the best hope that a coach would have. You don't want any twists on it. You don't want to hear that there's real damage. You see it here. She takes the ball strong to her left. She continues to go. Really takes the Flores takes the charge, and
it appears when she comes down, Seal, she may have extended that knee a little bit. She came down awkwardly.
And she reaches for it right away, and you're right, Dean, it looks like an extension, and you hope that it's not serious and that it's not something that some ice and some time won't heal.
The trainer's out from Iona. In a tough position right now for Iona's team. They trail by 2. Their top 2 post players have fouled out, Anger and Weber, and being assisted to her feet now is Tiara Hedden.
And Hedden is the only player in Iona that has been on the court for every second of the game. She's a player that goes 40 minutes. She's a great athletic tight player. She's got great wind, but you're hopeful that that the knee is just been twisted and nothing major, because she's the player that Iona needs in her future.
She's the sophomore from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Marist basketball after the offensive whistle on the Gales.
Huber needs to come up big. She'll be guarding Dahlman the whole game, and Pettijohn jumps out on her, which puts Huber back on Fifi, and then they switch back now underneath.
Kamara got banged pretty heavily there by Huber. And Kamara finds herself sprawled on the floor, but she'll shoot a couple.
Well, she'll shoot a couple. Kamara, you know, as you want your best play to do, asks for the basketball. She's being held underneath, calls for it. Good grab. Huber, again, you know, keep your hands up vertically, and you may not get the call. Fifi, a pretty good foul shooter.
2 for 4 today before that one. Marist as a team has made 12 of 17. Del Falco will re-enter. Huber leaves. She picked up her second foul. Velarde also coming in for Marist, and Smerdell will check out.
Well, Iona's opting to go with 3 guards, and Smerdell probably couldn't have defended DeFalco on the perimeter. So the move for Velarde to get back in there is a good one. Still a 3-point ball game with 2 and change. Just so much time left, and so many things can happen.
3 Marist players with 12 points each. 16 by Smerdell to lead the Foxes. Pettijohn turns it inside. And a foul going against the Foxes.
Fifi's going to get called for that. She grabbed hold of McLean. McLean's going to the line. That's the 9th team foul, so he's still in a 1-on-1 situation. And as you mentioned, McLean not a great... Oh, actually...
yeah, they luck out in that exchange.
They did luck out. The right kid, Yeagley, steps to the line. Now the official picks it up and points to McLean. Good try, Yeagley.
She comes away with a little grin.
We mentioned earlier that she's a 33% foul shooter, so if they need some points, they need them at the line, and she's the player that they want to foul.
Well, just prior, she shot the air ball free throw attempt on her last one. She's 1 for 4.
Remember, she's just a freshman too, Dean. So this is all new to her.
Almost didn't catch iron again. Marist looks to kill some clock. $1:40 left in this one, and they lead it by 3.
Iona needs a big stop.
Kresge played there by Yeagley. They're already over the double bonus limit, so it's 2 shots for Marist.
And Kresge will be very relaxed at the foul line. You know, you see it. They've got 3 starters that played just handfuls of minutes. Hayden, of course, you know, with the injury to the knee, but they're big scorers, averaging 13 and 16 a ball game, are sitting on the bench, and they are still hanging around.
Kresge walks away and discussed shooting 53% this year at the free throw line, and that's poor for a point guard. That's her first taken here in the ball game.
Well, because she'll be handling down the stretch, and you know that they'll foul her to put her to the line to kill the clock.
They'll probably get it into the hands of Flores if they're smart. And Dahlman got tangled up there with Pettijohn.
And Pettijohn's going to the foul line.
She thought for an instant it was on her.
But she sort of pushed off. But Dahlman and she were banging heads. And now you see Pettijohn going to the foul line. And Pettijohn, you see her here. And it's awful tough to call which way that went.
So Pettijohn will take the free throw attempts. Both teams over the 10-team limit. 2 shots for both here in the final 90 seconds of this ball game.
And Pettijohn shoots 65% from the foul line.
Line drive, that one in. So Reagan Pettijohn, a junior from Gearing, Nebraska, makes that.
And when you have 2 shots at the foul line, when you're in the bonus situation, you're so relaxed as a player stepping up because you know you're going to come away with at least 1.
And that's what she did. So here in the final 90 seconds, Foxes line up with Velarde, Kamara, Dahlman, and Kolazar. Kolazar shot a dagger 3 to get the Foxes a nice 2-point cushion at one point.
McLean has her work cut out for her. Pettijohn and she switching off. against Fifi.
And Fifi will get one. Basket counts. That one danced on the rim for a little bit. And the Foxes at that point ran Flores at the point. They want to keep Kresge out of the lineup because of the poor free throw percent. And they got it down low.
And Kamara shoots 65% from the line. You see it, the switch off. That danced around the rim, and Pettijohn gets called for the foul.
So Kamara with 14 in the ball game. She entered play today with 894 career points, went over the 900-point mark. And again, Marist misses a free throw attempt. Final minute. McLean
having to sit in the bench because you know that Iona knows it'll be going to a foul line, and McLean can't be the player that's there.
DeFalco runner and one. Oh, she challenged Marist inside.
This Iona team is just an amazing group of kids. They have 3 starters sitting on the bench. They've been in foul trouble, and somehow they have found a way to stay within 2 points of the league's best. DeFalco just takes it to the hole. When it counts, ends up with a chance at a 3-point play.
Shoots 75% this season. And a conventional 3 to get her team back within 1. And a timeout is called. Lauren DeFalco
does a good job with leading with her left, just tosses it up there. Liani in the middle, DeFalco goes left. You see Flores thinking she had a chance at the charge. 1 timeout for Iona, 3 for Marist. 50 seconds left in what has been just a great semifinal matchup.
And if there's a ball tie-up, it will be Marist basketball in the arrow. We took a look again at our MAAC brackets here in the semifinals of this year's Citizens Bank MAAC Championship. Awaiting the next game, Loyola, the 3 seed against Canisius, the winner taking on the winner of this game. Iona, the 4 seed, and the Foxes, the number 1 seed. They won the MAAC regular season title with a 16-2 record, but they have had their hands full today with this energized Iona team.
I'll tell you, Marist has 2 key players now in foul trouble, Dahlman and Kamara, with 4 fouls. So if this thing gets itself into overtime, we may have a whole bunch of kids starters not playing.
This copyrighted telecast of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the MAAC. Well, they played an overtime game in December in Poughkeepsie. Marist won that game in the extra 5-minute session. And in that game, DeFalco had hit a big shot to put her team up. And then in the final second of play, Kamara was fouled. She made 1 of 2 to force the overtime period, and Marist eventually won it.
And Hedden is back in the game, which is a key for Iona. Great defensive player, makes things happen. Good to see her moving when we thought she may have been out with a serious knee injury.
There's Dahlman, air ball. Shot clock at 7 seconds. Last touch by a Fox. 26 seconds remain as Kresge will come back in along with Smerdell. Dahlman will leave with Colasar. And what do you do if you're the Gales right here? The shot clock turned off, obviously. Timeout Marist.
Well, I don't know that you can go down to the wire because I think that the clock can be the friend of foe right here. You make your shot, you take a good shot, not worry about the clock. If you don't make your shot, you foul as soon as you can, and you foul Kresge, who is at the point. You don't want to send Flores to the foul line.
Tony Bozzella talking with the Brain Trust, his assistant coaches for the Gales.
And Marist, again, settling for a 3-point shot, not using the clock that effectively. You see it go off a Marist player, and it's Iona ball. But credit Iona because they've doubled down. Whenever Fifi finds herself in the paint, she's around 2 players, and she's found players to kick it out to, but those players don't always end up making the score.
Game reset. 1-point differential. Both teams over the double bonus. Couple timeouts left for Marist. 1 for Iona. Possession arrow favors Marist.
Possession arrow favors Marist, but Iona has the basketball. Now, I would think that you're going to see from Iona some pick and rolls on the top, freeing up one of their 3 guards. Remember, their big people are in foul trouble. Their scorers are sitting down. So you're going to see Horvath, Del Falco, or Yeagley taking a shot. That'll be their answer. But Hayden back in the game gives them a chance with the basketball for a good forward drive. Marist has to dig in and play some defense. Watch for them to pick it up early and waste some time.
Horvath, the key to today's game for the Gales. She has responded well. A couple of assists, along with 10 points. She'll be picked up by Flores.
And Pettijohn and Huber are probably going to set some screens on the top for the guards.
Final 20 seconds. Does Iona play for one? Do they try to get a shot up here in the final 10?
Right now, they've just 9 seconds left, so they have to do something.
Del Falco with the ball on the perimeter. Horvath sends it up. It was deflected by Kresge, and the Foxes come away. Iona basically dribbled themselves out of the possession.
They sure did. They couldn't get a shot off with 26 seconds on the clock. Defense of Marist did a great job on the screens, but they should have been able to get something off with 26 seconds. That's an inexperienced team playing against a very experienced defensive club.
And still had a timeout in the wallet.
And I'll tell you what, Marist dodged a bullet on this one.
22 wins on the year for the Foxes. The Gales finish up at 17-12, but a total turnaround from the previous year when they went 6-22. Anthony Pozzella, the co-coach of the year, along with Brian Georges, talking to the Marist players.
I'll tell you, Iona is going to be replaying the last 26 seconds for a long time with 16 seconds left, fiddling up top and not taking the ball anywhere, not taking it to a corner, not taking it to a baseline, just fiddling up top. They use 20 seconds and don't get a good look at anything.
Marist did a great job on the switch outs with Komara and Kresge especially.
You see it, Del Falco, nobody attacking and penetrating. You know, Dean, if you're going to take a shot like that, take it as you drive to the paint so you have a chance that the official will blow the whistle. But credit Marist defense on the perimeter. They did a good job of it.
They went to the man. They switched out at times, and Kresge actually jumped into the vision line there of Horvath, who sent up a wild shot, and a disappointed Anthony Pozzella. But after he reflects, this was a very successful season for him. Final score, Marist 60, Iona 59 in our first semifinal of the day. We'll be back to talk to some of the happy parties from Marist after this on the MAAC Television Network.